Hello curl friends, we are going to jump straight into this styling routine, but first I want to give you a real raw look at what my curls look like with zero product. This is me waking up after a shower last night, so this is what my real curls look like. Starting with supplies, so you're going to need a spray bottle. This one is an aerosol spray bottle. I got it off of Amazon. You'll need a claw clip or something to hold back your hair while you're styling. Your leave-in of choice, I'm using the Briogeo Superfoods 3-in-1 leave-in conditioner, and I'll go into detail why I chose these specific products a little bit later in the video. Next is the Love Your Curls all-in-one styler, and there are different versions of this. I'm using the curly version. Last up, we have the Up the Volume mousse from Heritage. This is probably my favorite mousse at the moment. For my styling brush, I'm going in with this boar bristle brush. I really like it because it gives me such good definition. We are going to start off by sectioning our hair out. I personally start above my ears, but start wherever you feel comfortable depending on how thick your hair is. Spray the section down with water. You want it very wet, not damp, wet like this. Go in with your leave-in conditioner of your choice. My spray bottle is acting a little weird right now, so I'm just spraying it into my hand and then I'll apply. Think of leave-in conditioner like a makeup primer. It's gonna prime your hair for the rest of your products. And the reason I chose this specific leave-in is because how thin and lightweight it is, so it's gonna help by not weighing down my hair. I'll get a lot more volume by using thinner products. Your next step is going to be to go in with your curl cream of choice. Then I use about a dime size amount per section. So this section gets a dime size amount and this section gets a dime size amount. And then you just want to rake the product all throughout your hair until it feels fully coated. For the mousse, I use a little less than a golf ball size amount, and again, you're just gonna rake this all the way throughout your hair. Now, once all your products are applied, this is where you can either choose to scrunch your hair or you can brush define, which is my preferred method of styling, just because I get these super smooth, shiny curl clumps that I can't necessarily get with scrunching. But I do still scrunch a little bit after brush defining just to help add some bounce to my curls. Now, my next section is gonna start at my temples, but I do have a lot of hair, so if you don't have as much hair, feel free to adjust your sections as needed. And quick volume tip here. If you are working with dry hair, do not wet your roots as much as you're going to wet your ends. Doing this is going to help your roots stay voluminous and lifted and prevent your roots from sticking to your scalp. Now from here, we are just going to detangle and apply the same amount of products that we did to the previous section. And I recommend working in sections just to ensure that all of your hair is fully coated with these products. And don't be like me, take off your jewelry before applying because it just causes the nastiest, gunkiest jewelry. From here, it gets pretty repetitive. I am just applying the products to my hair, but we are going to get into brush styling. So I personally like to brush style in very small sections just because I feel like it gives me the most definition and volume, so like the best of both worlds. I also like to brush style the front sections like you see here because these sections like to curl the least. So if you're having any issues with your curls not cooperating or you're transitioning, this is a great little trick to help enhance your natural curl pattern. And you'll get nice ringlets just like this. So here's a slowed down version just in case you want to follow along as you watch. I had the hardest time learning this trick because I would only ever see it like on Instagram but super sped up, and I just couldn't understand exactly how people were wrapping it around the brush. So I just wanted to take this as slow as possible in case you were styling your hair along with me. I am a visual learner, so I hope this helps, but let me know if you have any questions around this. Now, this is where the styling routine gets pretty repetitive because I can only show you so many times me applying products to different sections. But a tip that I do have is brush styling your curls the way that your curls naturally want to form. So curls can be all over the place. Some curls want to go inwards, some want to go outwards. What I used to do was brush style all of my hair on each side away from my face, but then I learned that this specific section loves to be brush styled towards my face. It helps my curls spring up so much more. One day I just experimented with it and I was like, wow, this is so much curlier than it usually gets. So play around and try to see what way your curls naturally want to rotate towards. Okay, another good tip for you guys. Don't let your hair just fall straight out of the brush. Hold it up a little bit. Look at this volume that I'm going to get by doing that. It just helps keep the roots really lifted and you're going to have so much more volume. Now I am going in here with a very optional product. This is the Day Hibiscus Wave Spray. It's like a sea salt texturizing spray and my hair has been super soft and over moisturized, so this helps add more texture and grit. That way my curls, I don't know, personally it helps them spring up more. That's just me. So if you're having that issue, look for a good sea salt or texturizing spray. Now a question that I get asked a lot is how to add more volume and lift to the crown of your hair, and this is how I do it. So I take very small sections and I comb directly back. Yes, your arms might be a little tired after this, but it is so worth it. And then I just do the exact same thing with my hands. I hold that root section up a little bit, bounce it a few times to help the curls spring up, and then scrunch it into my hair. And I do repeat this about 3 or 4 times, but I just didn't want to bore you guys and show you that over and over again. Moving on to the top section here, we are just going to section out and wet this hair like we've been doing previously. But what I really want to show you here is how much curlier this top section is compared to my bottom layers. And just want to point that out because I know a lot of people worry about this. A big question I get is, how do I fix my hair? One section is wavy, one section is curly. Sometimes that's just the way your curls come out of your head. Sometimes you can't fix that. But there are tricks to help it look more cohesive, like brush styling, like creating those spirals. But overall, just try not to be too hard on yourself. Curls are supposed to be fun and playful. They're not always going to be uniformed, and that is totally okay. Now that I'm done styling all of my hair, I'm just going to do a once over with this Day Hibiscus Wave Spray to again add more grit and texture to my hair. Now for the fun part, we are going to be diffusing our curls. I'm going in with my Revlon infrared blow dryer. It does have a few different settings. You can either go in with warm air or hot air and low speed or high speed. I go in with warm air on high speed. And I'm a big fan of this diffuser attachment just because I like how big the base is. It fits most of my hair and it's really well ventilated, so I feel like it helps my curls dry faster. And now on to the diffusing technique. So personally, I like to hover diffuse for 10 to 15 minutes first. I've just found that this is the best way to not disrupt your curl clumps, to prevent frizz, and it's also a great way to set in a curl cast. So a cast is created by your holding products, so that could be a gel or a mousse, and you actually want your curls to feel crunchy. The reason why is you're setting your curl shape in place and you're preventing frizz that way. Do not worry, you're not gonna like end the day with crunchy hair, but you do want a little bit of crunch just because that's showing that you have enough hold in your products. Now once my hair is about 30 to 40% dry, I feel comfortable enough cupping my hair with my diffuser and just pushing that air closer to my roots to make sure that all of my hair is drying evenly, making sure that my roots are getting dry. You want to make sure that you're not just focusing only on the ends. And here's a visual for you. This is what a crunchy curl cast looks like. So if your hair ends up looking like this after diffusing and you don't like it, that is 100% okay, because all you need to do is scrunch out this curl cast. You can also add a few drops of oil to your hands before you scrunch out your hair just to help add some shine. Personally, I didn't do this here. It is totally optional. Sometimes I add a hair oil, sometimes I don't. Just make sure that your hands are clean and dry. And as you can see here, while I'm scrunching out the curl cast, you can literally see my curls become more bouncier. They look a lot more natural, and you're just scrunching out all that crunchiness. Now, after scrunching out your curl cast, you might notice that your hair is still a little bit damp, so just follow up with a few more minutes of diffusing. And when your hair is 100% dry, you can go in with a wide tooth comb or a pick, or even like I'm doing here and just going in with my fingers and fluffing up different areas that you want more volume in. And here are the final results of this wash day. I hope this helped you. If you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to leave a comment. You can also find me on Instagram, where you can leave me a DM. I like to leave voice memos and more detailed answers that I can't sometimes write out. So please don't be shy. Follow me on those social media platforms if you're looking for more tips or help trying to manage curly hair, because I know it can be a little frustrating, but with some practice, I promise you're gonna end up loving your curls.